Hi, everybody. How are you today? Good, I hope. Y'all having a good day? All right. Sorry I'm a little late getting back on. I was supposed to come on yesterday, and I got busy. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes. For some reason, I had all the stuff up here, but I'm missing it. So give me a second. I'm just going to say, play it. Let's put this one on. All right. So I'm going to do for people to come on. All right. I have somebody here who said Norma said
I remember down in
can't
Mississippi,
wait. I'm hoping that Norma is
great big
on.
cotton
If not,
in the sun,
I'm hoping she comes on soon.
and I'd sing
Right.
with the black folks
So
when the day was done. And I dreamed even then that the world would be my stage, and someday my shoes would shake loose the Mississippi clay. And we moved on up to Memphis, just trying to survive. I cut a record for my mama, and almost overnight, the colonel signed me up. I was living out my dream. My mama was so proud when you called me the king down in Mississippi.
all right. Hi guys, how are you tonight? All right. So I'm sorry I was a night late, but I was watching the Olympics. I had to see, obviously, Simone win her gold medal for all around gymnastics. I love gymnastics, so I stayed and watched that instead of being live streamed last night. But that's okay. So today we're going to do another reading out of The Truth About Elvis, Aron Presley, in his own words. Okay, and we finished chapter 6, and now we're going to start chapter 7. And chapter 7 is quite lengthy, so we could probably get a couple episodes of that. So I'm going to get to where I need to be on the slideshow here, and we'll pick it up. I was just telling the group the other day that on August 8th will be the 1 year anniversary of the Facebook group being open. Yay! Okay, so I think this is where we need to be. So we're celebrating 1 year. Okay. Hi Sandy, how are you today? All right. So since this is so meaty, I'm going to start summarizing and reading some of the letters to you. All right. So in chapter 7, he discusses, hi, Susan, how are you? I'm glad you love this podcast. Okay. So 2000 is where he begins the next. And this book was written, published in 2001. So we're getting close toward the end of the book. And so there is a couple more things that Jesse Elvis wanted us to know. So the first thing that he goes into in his letter is basically this: read this one before the other one. So we're just going to read it and then I will go over this. Now, at the beginning of the letter, he starts saying that now that I am 65 years old, I must start writing and revealing more facts about my life as Jesse. First, I will tell you about a condition I have. My right hand shakes uncontrollably sometimes, and I don't know why. Thus, my terrible handwriting. Do you know how connected your life and Linda's and Burns is through numerology? The facts, even today, still accumulate. Let me tell you some people who were born on the 8th of the year. So he wrote, the 8th of the year. David Bowie was born on the same day as Elvis, January 8th. James Dean was born on February 8th. Julian Lennon, John's son, was born on April 8th. Ricky Nelson was born on May 8th. Jim Morrison of The Doors was born on December 8th, as well as Gary Allman. And then he said John Lennon was murdered on the 8th of December. And he reiterates that numerology plays a major important role in his life. He said, "Do you know that your area code is 816? Both of the four numbers in your address and Linda's add up to 181-8. Did you know that my daddy died on the 26th of June? 2 plus 6 equals 8. 1979, his date adds up to what? Oh, wait a minute. I got to go to the next slide. So we're just going to do this. All right. So the date of his birth adds up to 26. Interesting. So he died on the 26th, and the year that he died equals 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Now, 8 was a number that was very important to Elvis. That was his, what they call his numerology number, 8. And sometimes it depends on which book you read for numerology. It could actually be 9 if you figure in his birth year. But anyway, he's following the Kairos book of numbers, which 8 is a very important number. So he said, did you know? Okay, so he said, let me tell you that my daddy did not know of this plan. And if they want to call it a hoax, they can. But he said, if he had not died suddenly, we would have told him. He died 6 months too soon. He also states in the next letter that this is an extension of it. The last thing I stated in the letter was my daddy's death. And to this day, I feel terrible about this, but he had to be eliminated from the beginning. He was to be told 3 years, but he, as you know, he passed 6 months too early. Again, please excuse my handwriting because of the constant shaking of my right hand. As I get older, I feel I must reveal the facts of my life as Jesse, particularly because of all the books and people who made so much money off of my name who don't know me. So he's talking about some books that are out from people that don't really know him, all those biographies and everything, it's dealing with his death or his life or whatever. So he really wanted to get this stuff done. And I think he also probably was kind of aiming at Gail Brewer Giorgio as well. So the main thing he wanted to really stress, and I think this was the 4th time that he stressed this in this book, that his daddy had no idea, blah, blah, blah. So, and then he said he felt horrible about leaving him out of the plan. He said, let me tell you, all right, if I write you and you want me to print, because his hand was shaking. So he's complaining that his hand is shaking uncontrollably. I'm not sure exactly what that could be, the beginnings of, but he does have arthritis in his hand. It could be many different things, but we don't know. Okay. I'm sure that he got checked and all that stuff with doctors. Okay. For that. But I don't know exactly. He doesn't say what it is or other things like that. Okay. So here's some very important stuff that we can take from this chapter, this letter. There's some more revelations on about the plan and how he did it. So he said, I will tell you the first name on paper I have mentioned on paper, and this man's name is Herb Wolf. Okay? He was a very rich billionaire man from Las Vegas whose wife and himself had the means to pull this off. So Herb Wolf, he said, is a man a billionaire, maybe a friend or an acquaintance of the colonel that had money to help him pull off this plan. He said, the colonel and Howard Hughes and other loyal friends, people who helped me, I needed to pull, whose help I needed to pull off. Now, he had mentioned Joe was one of the men's close friends. He doesn't really tell you any of the other names of his close friends. But Howard Hughes was actually a very good friend of his. And if you ever read Jerry Schilling's book, Me and a Guy Named Elvis, he actually states that Howard Hughes was a neighbor of Elvis and used to come over all the time in Hollywood when he was doing movies. And they were very, very good friends. And Linda Hood Singman had mentioned on her site a whole thing about Howard Hughes, because Howard Hughes did exactly the same thing, but he did it before Elvis did. He found somebody that was willing to get plastic surgery to pose as him. And he was somewhat terminally ill. And Howard Hughes just took off. And that other guy pretended to be him, I guess, or whatever. And ended up dying. And, they went through the funeral and everything. So his image was dead. And she said I think there's a book out that was written about Howard Hughes. But what he did was, after he escaped fame, the guy took over his identity. He went down to Panama, and he became an identity through a CIA agent that already died. He took on his identity and actually lived a totally different life the rest of his life. I believe she told us it was somewhere in the 2000s that Howard Hughes actually died, and his real identity was revealed at that time. Very interesting how he has Howard Hughes, who supposedly had already done this, states his death. Now, the real Howard Hughes, not the one that died, all right? And actually got away with this. I'm not sure if Howard Hughes was actually in on the whole thing, if he was one of those that was in the pact at Graceland, or if he was added on. I have no idea. But anyway, that's what he's saying here. Now you and Linda and Byrne are all part of this, and you are my family. I will close this long letter with the fact that, as far as I know, has not been published in any book. Did you know that every person that passed in front of my casket had one thing in common? Even my relatives said it. They said it doesn't look like him. Okay. So even his relatives said. And even like his cousin Gene said, didn't look like him. His hands were too smooth. His sideburn was falling off. It looked like it was glued on. It was sweating, and everybody said it doesn't look like him. And there was a photograph taken of Elvis the day, like the night or early morning of that day that he died. And his photograph doesn't even match the casket photograph. I mean, it doesn't look anything like him. And you can't do that much with makeup and stuff like that to make you look, your nose pudgy and all that kind of stuff. It was just, nah. Didn't look like him. Okay. So, the doctor had revealed that Elvis or Jesse had sent him some definite evidence. On August 15th, 1977, Jesse told him that he went to the dentist and he had his gold tooth removed. And the reason why he had it removed was that he was no longer going to be the image, so he wouldn't need it. And he kept that tooth up till the year 2000 when he sent it to the doctor as evidence. Plus, he didn't trust anybody that was around him. He was afraid that they would steal it and go pawn it off somewhere to get money. So he gave this tooth and let him take a picture of the tooth. Too bad it's not in color. But there is a video clips of the news reports after this book is done. We're going to go into the news coverage of it. And I think they might have a quick glimpse of this particular item. And what I will do is I will screenshot it for you guys and put it on the presentation so we can look at it up close in color. I'd like to see this in color. Anyway, I guess he said everybody close to him would know about that tooth. So that would probably be another reason why he wanted to remove it, in case someone did exhume the body looking for the tooth. Who knows? We don't know. But anyway. So he said, Doc, I hope you like the tooth. You're my friend forever. And I wanted to thank you for all the gifts that you've sent me. And I'm like a little kid getting gifts in the mail. So he wants to thank everybody and thank them for giving Byrne help for, for what he needed. So there was another gift that he gave him. And he gave him 3 gifts in this last notification letter. But we're just going to look at these gifts. And we're going to only see 2 because there's only 2 pictured. So the other thing, and sorry this picture's so blurry, but the picture's very grainy in the book as well. And I don't know. I think it would have been better if it was colored. But anyway, this watch, he said, he got gifts from Jesse. He got 3 of them. The first one was for his wedding. And he got a set of gold necklaces. Excuse me. But he didn't picture them in the book. The other thing that he got was this watch. And this watch, he said, was worn many times during and before 1977. He says that there are pictures with him wearing it. And it's silver with turquoise. So I'm assuming these triangular things on this watch might be a turquoise blue. Okay. I have not seen a photo at all. It might be an unpublished photo, I don't know, with this watch on, but it looks like something that he would wear. And he used to wear a lot of turquoise stuff. He used to wear, like, that necklace that had like all those turquoise that looked like some type of African necklace. It looked like that to me. But it was turquoise. And he used to wear a lot of blue and stuff like that. So it could be a possibility that he wore that somewhere along the way. But I don't see any pictures of it. And I have people in the group looking, but we still haven't found pictures of that one or the pajama set. But anyway, he claims there are pictures of it. But like I said, he was the most pictured person in the world. So they're somewhere, I'm sure. Or maybe someone's private collection. I don't know. All right. And the last gift he got was the cane. And it was a walking cane that Jesse Elvis had. And he said the cane was beautifully carved. And if you look at the picture on the right, you see the carvings on it. They look like Native American carvings. It might have been made by a Native American tribe or something like that. But that was a unique gift that he got in the walking cane because he used the walking cane quite often. So that's all I'm going to cover for this chapter. And we're going to do some more the next time I am on. All right. So now I'm going to go into the comments. All right. Hi, Brett. Bren, no problem. I was a little late getting on to myself, like 1 minute. All right. So hi Norma, if you're still on, and Sandy and Susan and Bren. All right. No, I mean I found the truth was quite interesting for evidence. You know, what do you guys think? He gave a lot of information. He said that his father did not know. He still says it. Like 4 times he said it in this book. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna, guys, if you don't have, is he in a wheelchair now? I'm gonna say no, but he does walk with a cane. As far as I know, I want to cover this in a separate video, but I will give you guys little hints. From what I've read on Linda's site, he deals with many different illnesses because he was dealing with them before. But he's like uneasy on his feet. So, kind of like neuropathy, probably. So he has a cane. And I think he's fallen a couple times because of his feet. You know, my father has a very similar thing. He's very uneasy on his feet. So, yeah, he falls. He walks with a cane. And he's old. He's 89, almost 90. So, yeah, he's gonna have aging. Very, very old. Another thing that he's gone through, besides his chronic pain, and arthritis, is heart. He has heart issues. So, he had heart valve surgery, and I think something to do with his gallbladder taken out. From what I've read, and he had like a mini stroke in February, but it was so small that it didn't do any damages, like major damages. So he still talks like pretty clear and stuff and sings. From what I understand, he still sings and plays the piano. Not necessarily the guitar anymore, but does play the piano and sings. And those people in his close circle are very lucky. Yes, he has a big heart. And he's a very thankful person too. He very thankful and very giving. He's still very giving. He gives a lot. Still. He gives Linda stuff all the time. And she takes photos of them and puts them on her site, but I can't put them on here because they're copywritten. But yeah. So most of all that information is on Linda's site throughout the years underneath the current events. So if you ever want to go check that out, you may. I'll just give you the URLs here. Let's see. This one here will give you the current events like as of like today and up to like 2000 and I think 18. It might start, no, it might be before that. 2015, something like that. All the way to now. And then there's the other one, has all the other ones from the beginning. And her site started in 2009 or 10. All right. So this one will give you from current events from 2009 or 10 to 2015. And then she goes and she does the continued site, which gives you up till current day. And I think the last, unless she's posted today or recently, the last post said that he was in the doctors a lot, was able to get outside and get some sunshine and feed the birds. So, yeah. So those are the things he's doing right now. And I think he likes to watch TV and movies. Um, those are his pastimes. He kind of tells her he can't do like what he used to do, karate and football and all that, but he likes to watch football and he likes to watch movies, and TV and read and pray and practice his religion. All right, so I'm gonna. So Sandy said, "Is he in a wheelchair?" And I answered that, and she said, "Oh wow." Susan said he had a big heart, and I agree. Poor Jesse. Yeah. And this is his quote that he said to her. He said, "I hope nobody's too upset with me because I had to do what I had to do." And Linda said, "Nobody has any right to be upset with you because they weren't in your shoes or they haven't lived your life." And he goes, "I've had a hard life." And really what he really just wants to go home to the Lord, you know, because he loves the Lord. Definitely, absolutely loves the Lord. But he is waiting for the Lord to come back or waiting for the Lord to take him home. That's what he really wants. I firmly believe that's what he really wants. From what I heard from people, contacts and stuff. I am very glad it wasn't a major stroke either. I think the whole group was in prayer for him during that time when we found out. We were freaking out. Do we have any idea what state he is living in? I do not know what state he is living in. He moves around a lot, from what I understand. I know in the wintertime he goes to someplace hot. In the summer he might move up here, up in the Michigan, Missouri, Tennessee, and all that in the summer because it's hot. He likes the hot temperatures. So he moves around a lot. I don't know if he does as much as he used to, but he does move around a lot. And I don't think it's because he gets recognized. I think it's also because of weather and health and all that kind of thing. No, I don't think he does Tai Chi. I don't know. I know he does karate, and he was into that. And like 8th degree black belt karate. I don't know if he can do it anymore now, though, with his joints and everything. Yes, noon has to be right to be mad. No one. No one has the right to be mad. Good for him. Right. And that's his main thing. He loves his fans. That's why he gave us this book. That's why he has Linda's site open. He's always been afraid to lose his fans. And he doesn't want to be seen bad in the sight of his fans because he still loves his fans. And even though he's no longer the image anymore, he wants to be known as Jesse, and but he still knows and loves Elvis's fans because he was Elvis at one time, so he still loves his fans. Claudette, good evening. How are you today? Okay, so I will plan. Yes, we will always love him. Yes, and I'm going to let you guys know in December, Linda always opens up a message board. And you guys can send well wishes and letters to him. I'm telling you, I had the hardest time last Christmas trying to write him a letter. It was so awkward. It took me forever to figure out what I was going to say and how to say it right. I was so uncomfortable writing him a letter. But once it was done, it felt great. And I was like, I'm glad I was able to do that. And so when she does open that, there will be I will put it on the community board if you guys want to. I will also place it on Facebook. So those of you that are Facebook followers or, Facebook members, you will have access to that link as well. Never will lose our love. This Elvis week is coming up. Yes. And we could call it his birthday. I mean, that's Jesse. right? His rebirth day, whatever you want to call it that. But yeah, when I was 7, his image died. Still love him. I was almost 7. I was 9 days shy of being 7 when he died. So we were almost the same age when he died, or his image died. And I didn't believe it because when I saw the picture in the National Enquirer, I shook my head and I was like, and they had the picture of him that morning when after he went to the dentist and played racquetball and all that, or the night before, late night, and it's like he doesn't look anything like the guy in the casket. I was like, something's weird. But I was only 7, so or barely 7. Right. You haven't seen the message board on the website. She only opens the message board from I think last year she only opened it from December 4th to January 4th. So that's probably when she'll open it again this year from like the first week of December all the way to the first week of January. But that's when you can send as many well wishes as you want through her site. And you have to get on her site and do it. Well, through the link, but you'll have to fill your name and address, email address, and then your letter. And she does kind of look at them to make sure they're not offensive or mean or anything. And then she sends them. So, because she has to print them out and send them paper to him because he doesn't have internet. Right? So people think that he does, but he has no internet. So the only way he gets it is through paper. You would love to write him a letter. Well, we're going to open up that message board at Christmas, and you can do it then. And we'll let you know. All right? I was 14. Okay. A lot of people in the memberships are all over the map on the Facebook group as far as age. All right. We all knew it didn't look like him. Right. And that's what he said in here. He said everybody that went by his casket said it didn't look like him. Did not look like him at all. It looked like a younger version of him. My brother was a big fan as well, and he was 17 at the time, and he didn't believe it either. Yeah, I mean, I think the picture of of him in the casket. I mean, like, I'm speechless. It's like it looks like him, but a younger version. you know, and he had plastic surgery and stuff like that. So his nose was different looking and stuff, and he had a higher forehead, I think. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do part 2 probably next week sometime. I'm not sure when I'll be on, but it'll be sometime next week. Midweek, probably. I'm planning for Thursday, but if something else changes, I will let you guys know on the community board. I heard he said they buried a giant candle. Yeah, they did. It was made of wax. I think I might have covered that in one of those. So, yeah. It goes to show you how we believe whatever they tell us. Right. Well, I'm going to say, there have been a lot of people that questioned it. Well, we're dealing with a company that has a lot of money. And they're sticking with the lie. And he does say the image died. So really the image did die, but the man is still alive. It's just that, you know, the 1950s Elvis, yes. Yeah. And I think I might have covered this in one of the other videos, but there is a channel called Jesse Burroughs. I don't think it is Elvis that did it, but it's an impersonator or somebody that thinks he is or whatever. And he said that he had the wax commissioned by a friend of his in Hollywood, and he had to make two, and one they used for the viewing. Now, that's very close to this book where he said that he ordered the wax dummy and he told the guy and, his friend to keep it confidential. I think we had covered that in this book already. But yeah, there was wax. Now, what about the body? Now, people are going to ask, what about the body that went to the hospital? That Well, I'm gonna do that another day. I'm gonna do a special on that body switch. I think we might have did one actually, but I'll do it again. Who knows? It was a body switch. And it's an amazing story and an amazing way how they did it. It's not done yet. We still got a little more to do in this book, and then I have quite a bit left in Is Elvis Alive? I haven't even read. So this book is very good. Thinking of maybe doing something on this one next. Maybe something similar. But condense it down and make it easier because her chapters are so long. I got plenty of information in that book that we can do. Okay. But her book is cheaper. This book, I think the cheapest copy I saw the other day was $300 something, but still $14,000 on a book. So I mean, it's like, no, that's crazy and crazy expensive. That's too much money. And the reason why I don't like my pages fell out of my book. I have to tape them back in, and I was missing parts. So yeah, all right. Well, I think we're done our thing. So I'm going to finish this live stream up with down in Mississippi. Now they had a mixed reaction to that song. Some say it's Jimmy, some say it's Elvis, but it doesn't matter to me because it's about Elvis and it's telling us he's alive in it. And he says, I changed the way I look so no one knows me. That's one clue in there. And he also sits underneath a tree by a dirt road playing his guitar. And, and so there's some hints there that, whoever wrote that song, whether he sang it as Steven Silver or Jimmy Ellis sang it, they are telling us that Elvis didn't die. And that's the whole thing. All right. I think he's singing it. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. There's other people that will say, nope, 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 not him. And they're entitled to their opinion, right? Okay. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notifications button, share this video all over the place, and favorite this video, and like this video on Facebook. And I'll let you sign off, finishing this. If there's any other comments after the song, I'll share them, and then we'll get off. Okay.
I play my guitar, sing my rock and roll songs, and dream I'd be a star. I went from down in Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee, but my shoes never should lose the Mississippi clay. One day I was no longer a kid in a Cadillac, just an old rock and roller tired of coming back. I was a prisoner of my fame. And when my mama died, the Lord seemed to say to me, you need to change your life. But I was much too big to just turn my back and leave. So I changed the way I look. Now no one knows me. Everybody in the world believes the king is gone, but I'm down in Mississippi, and it's good to be back home. Down in Mississippi, not far from Tupelo, beneath a magnolia tree and an old dusty road. Oh, I sing and play my guitar, sitting in the shade. Oh, my blue suede shoes are home at last in this Mississippi clay. You know I sure do miss you folks. Until we meet again. Adios.
Bye. You guys have a great night. God bless y'all. And God bless y'all. And have a great week. And I should be back on next week sometime. I'm probably going to go on Facebook Live. I know that for sure. And I'm going to celebrate. I think, what is it? Oh, okay. So next Thursday is the 8th. So I'll probably do something on Facebook next Thursday. But in the meantime, you guys have a great night. Bye. You too. Take care of yourself. Don't get too, if you're hot. I was so hot. And it's like really hot in New Hampshire this week. Good night. All right. I'll just let you guys, I'm going to put your little comments on here. Good night greetings, and I'm getting off. All right. Bye.